What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Getting Technical.
Don't cut the clap out.
All right, I'll leave the clap in. Welcome back to Getting Technical, episode 76. Burke, Jules, we're here. Super Bowl just happened.
Ooh, post-Super Bowl
It was a pretty
pod.
shitty game.
Yeah, depends on who you are.
I
You're
mean,
an Eagles fan.
If you're just a football fan in general, it was just a snooze fest.
I guess 98% of this country was probably a snooze fest, but that 2% in Philadelphia they're probably still burning down the streets in Philly.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean that was I don't know. It was like was it 34-0 at one point, or was it 27?
I enjoyed fucking watching the Chiefs' demise. Like I had a successful hate watch, but at the same time, Philadelphia fans bother me. So that sucked. But at the point we're at, I'm a dynasty hater. I said this last week. I had a good time.
I did not enjoy losing money on the Chiefs.
Oh, you bet on the Chiefs?
Oh yeah.
Same.
Oh yeah.
I lost every single bet that I put in, and it was well over 10 bets. They were small baby bets, plus $50 in a box. Of course, I didn't win shit.
I won a couple bets, but I mean, I obviously didn't end up breaking even. I am down on the weekend. But, that's how life rolls.
Nah, I put $100 on Chiefs money line Saquon anytime touchdown, and neither was even close. So like,
hey, at least both legs missed.
Yeah.
Wait, was it a parlay?
It was a little minute parlay, 100 win 200, but
hey, I mean,
yeah. Listen, ended up the over ended up hitting, ended up being high scoring, but not in the way we really thought. Kansas City tried, throwing some late game garbage time points up there, but it was just an overall dominant performance out of the Eagles.
It was Patty Mahomes stat padding.
It was a little Patty Mahomes stat pad, but honestly, this is the second time now, Pat Mahomes and his losses, he has not looked good. But, I mean, when you have that much pressure in your face all game long, he had no time to throw. No time.
Yeah.
I've never seen him like that. I mean, since the
since he lost, he was horrible.
Right, but that was just I think I saw 5 3-and-outs in a row or something. It was you don't see that from the Chiefs. They somehow find a way to make it a one possession game, and
no points to the third quarter.
Yeah.
Every time I was looking up at my screen when they were on the field, he was getting sacked.
Yeah.
Oh, it felt like every single time they had the ball, I would look up from my phone and I would just see Patty, and they're bringing him down again. Yeah, dude, it was just relentless.
It was weird because we talked about coaching and how Andy Reid's the best. Dude, it just looked like they got out schemed. I saw some of the highlights and they just didn't have the right blocking against certain guys. They were trying to throw tight ends against their defensive ends. I mean, they looked out of place. They looked like they had no idea how to actually pass protect against this Eagles defense. It also just kudos to how dominant that Eagles defensive line is. I mean, Josh Sweat 2.5 sacks. Jalen Carter has to get double teamed all game long. They just have a dominant front seven. And it really, because they were in Mahomes' face all game.
But the thing that was weird about it was, if you look at the week before, we've known the Eagles have had one of the best defenses, but as much as they killed the Commanders, the Commanders lost because they had 3 crucial turnovers. That was the main reason that they lost. Jaden Daniels played a fine game. They turned the ball over on a kick return. They had 2 fumbles. It was just things didn't go their way, but their defense didn't look this good. Their defense looked like one of the best defenses we have ever seen on Sunday night.
That was even the Rams game where when it started snowing and then Kyron Williams has his 2 fumbles, Stafford was throwing the ball pretty well even when it started snowing. So they weren't really getting too much pressure on Stafford. Stafford still had a really good game and they had a decent offense, but they just ended up getting out the turnover battle killed them, and that's where I was able to get them outscored. But the defense this week was just unbelievable. They were next level.
I think the biggest winner of the Super Bowl was Tom Brady. I don't think it was close either. I mean, if you understandably, Patrick Mahomes was getting pressured like crazy. He got sacked a bunch. A lot of it you can say not his fault. He made some terrible throws. He was legit awful. Yeah, and you could hear Brady in the booth. He was he was trying to sympathize with him. You knew deep down he was loving every second of it.
Sealing his legacy right
exactly.
there.
The GOAT talks. Let's calm those down for a few years. Let's calm those down.
We're not calming that down at all. Bro, he still has the best start to his career ever. Better than Brady. He has the same amount of more Super Bowl appearances. He has more of a chance of making the Super Bowl than incompleting a pass. Think about how crazy that is.
He didn't complete a lot of passes on Sunday night.
I understand that, but Mahomes is still on GOAT trajectory.
You could say that, but guess what? He still needs 4 more.
Okay.
And he's only
29.
getting
He's
okay,
29.
But not every quarterback in the NFL is going to play to 45 like Brady at an elite level. A lot of guys fall off in their mid to late 30s.
If he plays till he's 40, he needs 4 more. He needs 4 more wins to tie him.
Right.
In 11 years. He really needs 5 more.
He really doesn't need 7. If he gets 6...
No, he needs 7.
No, he doesn't.
You need 7 to be... If we're talking Tom Brady,
if he loses,
who has every statistical category as well, you have to have more than 7.
But if he also loses 1 more Super Bowl... I mean, and he only gets to 6. Are you going to say the same thing?
No, because then that's like the MJ LeBron debate. LeBron's been to how many finals, and he's lost how many finals? He's still better than Jordan. You know, like he's gotten to more finals than Michael Jordan has. It's simple. If Mahomes gets to more finals and has 1 less win or something, he's better than Brady. At least he gets to the championship.
Getting there means nothing, or else Jim Kelly's at top of the line is like one of the best ever.
But it means a lot. How many times did Brady make the Super Bowl?
10.
10.
7-3.
If Mahomes makes 12 Super Bowls,
but he goes 5-7.
He still needs to make it 7 more times to get to 10 Super Bowls.
But that makes no sense. Like him getting there and say he goes 5-7 or 6 and 6. 6-6. Like that's not better than Brady.
Yes,
him losing 6 times
because Brady didn't make the Super Bowl many times. There was a 10-year gap between two Super Bowls.
He made it 10 times.
Okay.
The difference between the LeBron Jordan argument is LeBron has significantly better career stats than Jordan in every single way you measure it. He has the most points of all time by a mile. He has the most playoff points by a mile. He's got more rebounds. He's got more assists. He's got more everything. It's
Jordan was
argument.
so good at basketball. He's like, fuck it, I gotta go play baseball now.
No, he's just the dumbest thing he could have ever done.
He's just
he sucked at baseball.
He's a gambling alcoholic who fell off, bro.
That is probably the reality of the situation.
No, because he had to take a year off because he got his father murdered.
Yeah, he was a gambling addict.
And now his kid is a delinquent. Like, yeah, good genes, Jordan. Fuck you,
his kid just likes to party a little bit. Leave him alone. Kid likes the book of sugar a
You
little bit.
You got a vendetta against MJ?
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
You're LeBron.
LeBron's my sunshine, so you know. But no, listen, it's the same thing. Like Mahomes. First of all, he's only lost twice. Why are we just giving him 4 more losses?
Sitting there being
Why are we just giving him 4 more Super Bowl wins?
Because he's shown he can win 3 in like a short amount of time, bro.
He just got smacked.
After winning the previous 2 Super Bowls,
but you can't act like he's a lock for 4 more Super Bowls.
I think
wins. 4 more Super Bowl wins.
I'm not saying it's a lock.
The Eagles aren't going anywhere.
I'm not saying it's a lock.
The Chiefs aren't going anywhere. The Bengals.
Yeah, the Chiefs. You're right. The Chiefs are not going anywhere. Exactly.
I mean, sorry.
Exactly. No, you made my point.
The Bills aren't going anywhere. Okay, but regardless,
the Bills are absolutely
the Chiefs aren't going anywhere. They have Patrick Mahomes. The Bills, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Niners will be back. Like, this is not just some cakewalk where he's just going to win. The Niners won't get back.
You're saying these teams are going to be elite for the next 5 years.
Why are the
NFL changes every year?
So now, but
every single year.
So you just contradicted yourself.
But the Ravens, Bengals, and Bills are not going to change for the next 10 years.
The Bills will change. The Bills will change.
How? I mean,
they're because
Josh Allen has
Josh Allen's going to get a mega deal, $70 million a year, and they're going to be able to pay the rest of their players. That's how every single NFL team
He's
works.
literally on a mega contract right now, is he not?
He's like getting paid 43 or something. It's a joke. It's $12 million less than my quarterback.
I mean, Josh Allen got. Daniel Jones got $40 million.
Exactly.
You think Josh Allen's only worth $3 more million?
Was his contract not 5 years long? What are we in year 2 of his contract?
Who, Josh Allen?
Yeah.
I think we're in like year 3. Like they're gonna pay him again in like 2 years or some shit. I'm sure they're gonna sign him before his extension runs out. So Bills are not going anywhere. They are going somewhere. Not to the Super Bowl anytime soon is where they're going. You're not gonna check the contract, make sure. I got him, guys. I got him.
He's a free agent in 2029. You really got me. You really got me.
Shit,
you buffoon.
I got 5 more seasons.
Damn.
4 more, I think.
We're gonna play this year.
I thought I had him.
I really got him. So dumb, bro. Wait, I have a few more things. We spoke about this last week, but I think after this Super Bowl win, Jalen Hurts solidified himself as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and I don't think you can debate it because if we're looking at his body of work,
I can try.
If we're look at 2 of the last 3 years, this dude went to the Super Bowl and he balled out. he was better in the first Super Bowl than this Super Bowl. But his team won, so, people are going to give him the credit. He won the MVP. This dude on the biggest stage has been great. You could say maybe you don't think he won that, should have won the Super Bowl MVP, but he was fantastic. He was great. He had one interception. Like Mahomes, we were talking about Mahomes being a GOAT. The dude threw 2 interceptions that were just dog shit. Jalen Hurts, dog. And solidified top 5. I don't know how you can argue it, honestly.
I'll give you the top 5. I wouldn't say he was fantastic.
He was really good.
He did well, but
he did set the Super Bowl record for rushing yards as well.
I mean, he had a good rushing game.
He had a good game.
I mean,
almost 300 all-purpose yards.
The Chiefs were there to stop Saquon, but that's tough when you're trying to stop Saquon and Jalen Hurts. But I mean, the fact that his defense was able to basically start him on the 50-yard line almost every time, like the 2 turnovers from Mahomes, the pick 6, the other was at their side of the field turnover, going for it on 4th down at midfield. I mean, there were plenty of opportunities for the Eagles to just, there were plenty of times for the Eagles to just have short yardage field, and that just makes Jalen Hurts' life so much easier. That MVP is Josh Sweat. It's not Jalen Hurts, but you give it to the quarterback because it's the name and everything. But the NFL needs to start realizing that the award will start having more meaning to it when you give it to the guys who deserve it, like Josh Sweat. 6 total tackles, 2.5 sacks, impactful minutes. Like Jalen Hurts really started throwing the ball with a lot of success when they were already up big.
I mean, he threw some dots.
He did. He
delivered the haymakers at the end when they needed him.
I'm not saying he had a bad game, but the guy who really had the biggest impact on the game to me was Josh Sweat.
I mean, their defense just had an all-time performance.
Yeah, I think going back to the Hurts point, though, I think, if you say he's top 5, I'm not going to argue. He's I
mean, you really can't at this point.
I mean, you can, but
For who? Guys that who have never done anything in the league?
Yeah, I mean, just yeah. If your opinion, you can say
it's not Joe Burrow's fault that his team's fucking trash.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow's.
I would still have Joe Burrow.
No, but
Joe Burrow's still in the top 5. With
all right, I was saying, but it's you have. So give me the 5.
I don't think the 5 are really that debatable. We talked about Jaden Daniels, but he's still too unproven to give it to him over Hurts after this. When you dethrone Patrick Mahomes, no matter how you do it, if you have a good game, you show up and you get the win, you deserve some credit for that. I think no debate right now. You got Hurts. Jalen Hurts is the 5th best quarterback. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and then I'm still going to give Patrick Mahomes number 1, just because he had a bad game, obviously, but body of work. It's almost impossible to say it's not him.
But yes, you say Jalen Hurts beat Patrick Mahomes, but
he did.
If you put Jalen Hurts on the Commanders, are they beating the Chiefs?
Huh?
If you put Jalen Hurts on the Commanders team, and you put Jaden Daniels on the Eagles team.
Such a random,
I think if you
thing.
put Jaden Daniels on this Eagles team, I still think they beat
exactly
the way that
exactly.
But the way that game went, though, I don't know who you really can't put on that team. The way that defense played, that to me, that's what I'm saying. That game didn't really, to me, in my mind, it didn't push Jalen Hurts to this elite level. Like I said, he had a good game, but he didn't have this. I wouldn't call it fantastic.
I'll tell you a guy who I don't think could win the Super Bowl if he was on the Eagles roster.
When it was still close enough, he still threw a pick. He wasn't really throwing with ease. He wasn't out there slinging it around. He had 22 pass attempts. It's not like he was out there slicing this defense up. If
you replaced Jalen Hurts with Trevor Lawrence,
this team doesn't win the Super Bowl.
This team don't even get past the division round.
Mind you, the Jaguars were 30 yards away from beating this Eagles team in the regular season.
All right,
30 yards away.
Zach Wilson beat the Chiefs.
30 yards away.
Don't forget it. The last QB in the AFC to beat that Eagles team, beat Jalen Hurts, Zach Wilson. Bring that man back to New York. Part 2. Let's go.
But listen, all I'm saying is, though, there's a lot of quarterbacks that it's kind of like the Brock Purdy thing. Jalen Hurts is surrounded by the Monstars. So you could put a lot of quarterbacks and they beat the Chiefs team. So
that's the thing too is Jaden Daniels is not surrounded by as talented as a team as the Eagles.
Not even close.
No. You can't
once
argue
again,
that,
AJ Brown, a guy who is top 7, top 10 wide receiver in the league, was silent.
I mean, yeah,
Devonta Smith was the leading receiver. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a short yardage touchdown. But I mean, Devonta Smith had the most catches and yards.
I think what this game solidified, it increased Jalen Hurts' legacy, but it doesn't move me in terms of how I rank them in today's NFL game.
What could Jalen Hurts do to improve the way you rank him?
Be better.
Be the
Okay.
No, he's not.
Listen, if he went 3 touchdowns.
He had 3 touchdowns.
No, can you let me finish?
Yeah, I agree. This wasn't a moving the needle kind of.
Okay, and how did he get one of those touchdowns? Because the guy's knee was 1 inch short, and they push.
Who made the throw to get the guy to the 1 yard line?
He was wide open. All I'm saying is
he threw a wide open pass on the sideline. It was an easy throw.
The throw to Devonta Smith was not perfect.
He didn't thread the needle on that, bro. Come on, like
now you have to thread the needle to be good.
But completing easy passes makes you good. Like completing passes that fucking Justin Fields can complete makes you good.
Stop! Justin Fields could not do that.
I'm not saying the Devonta Smith. I'm saying the pass.
No, he couldn't. Tilo would fucking take a sack, bro.
I'm agreeing with Julian. This wasn't some dominant performance out of Jalen Hurts as a passer.
But it was a great performance.
It was a very good game.
You know who had a terrible performance? Patrick
Mahomes had a terrible game, but once again, that defense was next level.
I'm just saying,
the amount of times that they were able to start their ball on their side or close to their side of the field, it makes your job a lot easier.
I'm just saying, if we're going to continue to put Lamar in these conversations, you can't shit on Jalen Hurts.
You can, because his seasons are so much better.
Had a better game than Lamar had in the playoffs this year.
So who are you taking, Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson? Alright, so shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro. Why are they even in the same breath?
At least Jalen Hurts has won playoff games.
Doesn't matter.
Lamar Jackson in the playoffs is 120 yards, bro.
Should be MVP.
There are Mark Andrews drop away from being right there.
From going into overtime.
So how is that Lamar's fault?
He didn't have a good game.
That Mark Andrews
he had
is
2
dropping
turnovers in the first half. He had 2 turnovers in the first half. You're blaming Mark Andrews. Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl, and we're like, no, he didn't really do anything.
Like, you sitting there trying to push him into the top 5, and
he is in the top 5.
But you said you can't make an argument, and I think you most certainly can.
But you're arguing about guys who are already in the top 5 with him.
No, I'm saying Jaden Daniels over him because he's not as talented as a team, and the things that Jalen Hurts had to do in this Super Bowl weren't that impressive. It wasn't like this dominant performance.
He can't win then. There's nothing he can do,
yes,
really.
Yes, he can. Like, if he went out there and
they were up 34-0.
No, listen.
Bro, what does bro have to do?
You know who's top 5?
Like I said, if that defense wasn't out there, give him the ball on the 40-yard line almost every time, then I could say that it was a dominant performance. If he was making these sustainable